Okay, I think I'm gonna start. Thank you for joining. I always love to have this space, these webinars with you, the makers. I love to teach you some things that can help you with your small business and also to learn as you I'm in the process. I'm also a handmade business owner, so I'm also learning with you. So welcome. I hope this webinar helps you in succeed in your business and help you reach the goals that you are hoping to reach this year with your business. So before we start, I have some reminders. This is a 40-minute webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the chat box. If you have a question when I'm talking about in a specific topic, please just write it down in the chat box, and we are going to have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And the webinar will be recorded for you to watch anytime you like. So if you have to leave the meeting earlier, don't worry, you're gonna have the replay in your email right away as soon as we end. So we are going to start. In our agenda today, as you know, the topic is wholesaling handmade products. So we're going to learn the benefits of doing wholesale, how to organize your business to offer wholesale, pricing your products for wholesale, how to decide what items to offer, and also how to prepare your wholesale pitch. So let's start. First, I always like to start with the basics. And offering wholesale, for me, it's a good way to start having that extra income and different income streams for your handmade business. Because handmade products selling in markets can be seasonal, and selling online, it's often challenging, right? So I think that having different incomes and not having all our eggs in one basket, it's always good in our businesses. So a good option to have is wholesale. So maybe you already know what it is, but I always like to start with the basics. So wholesale is when you sell your products to another business at a price much lower than your typical retail amount. So this is because the business will resell your products for you. So it's very simple. I know that it's not for everyone, and I want for you to take a minute, and I'm going to give some specific points because wholesale is not for all the handmade businesses. So I want for you to take a moment and analyze in what stage is your business and figure out if you have if you are ready to offer wholesale. So the first thing, wholesale is better for businesses that have already experienced some success serving everyday customers. You have been in business long enough to know what products are your best sellers. You have standard operating procedures for how to manufacture your products, how to pack, how to ship your products. So it's the same process every time. You are ready to expand your business and reach more customers. And the other one that is important is that you are already happy to allow other brands to sell your products. Maybe at the beginning we are like, oh, I don't want to share these products because maybe they're gonna steal my idea, or I want to have my products I would just want to sell them. I don't want anyone else to sell them. So if you're in that place right now, wholesale, maybe it's better for the future. Now let's see the benefits of doing wholesale. For me, wholesale is one of the best experiences because it means that your business is growing. It means that you're having more opportunities, that you want to succeed more with your business. So I think to evaluate the benefits, it's also good. The first thing is, of course, you're going to increase sales because you're selling multiple items at a time. And with this comes that you're going to have an increase of your yearly income because you're going to be selling to local businesses all the year round. The other benefit is that you're going to have potential for building a long-lasting partner. This is such a good thing to have because you are going to be sure that you're going to have a partner that is going to be asking an order from you the entire year. So if you have a good relationship with them, you can keep like, hey, right now I have another product release. Do you want to have them in the other order? So those relationships that you build with wholesale are super important for the growth of your business. The other one, the number 4, is that you are going to reach a larger audience. It's very helpful for us to rely on other stores and other businesses to reach a larger audience, because if we do it just by ourselves, it can take years. The number 5 is that you're gonna have less marketing costs because the companies have their own marketing plan and that drives the traffic to their store, so they're gonna handle that for you. And the last one is that you're going to be purchasing craft supplies in bulk because you will, and this means that your profit margin will increase. And maybe you are using, because you're not going to do wholesale for all your products, right? So, but the materials that you use for all your products maybe are some like the same. So the prices in ordering supplies in bulk is lower, and that can benefit your whole business. Okay, so let's start with how to organize yourself to offer wholesale. Organization is key in every step in every stage of our business. Organization is very useful and helpful to have everything in process, right? To have everything in the right spot. So the first thing the first step is to get yourself organized. You will need to have a way to keep and file all the important paperwork, including potential clients' contact information. You're going to start doing research. You probably have in mind some of the businesses that can be that you can reach to start doing wholesale. So start doing that research. Start searching for companies that maybe your product can be a good fit there, and grab their email, social media, the website, the location, and put everything in a spreadsheet or a notebook or Inventora, I must say. But you can start doing that. So once you have all that information, you're clear on how many people you want to reach out to and how many opportunities can you have. The next thing that you have to do is to grab all the contact information of your current partners. Your current partners are very helpful, very valuable, I must say, because you have to keep the constant communication. You need to be, it's not just to, hey, here is the shipping, I already ship your products and that's it. No, that's not the way how relationships work. So you have to have that constant communication, and to have the contact information is very helpful, because maybe they purchased from you on January and you have a new product release on September. So you want to reach out to them and say, hey, I have this new product release. Do you want it for your next order? The third thing is to have a product line sheet. If you don't have it right now, I think it's a good idea to start doing it. I added here like a template that you can use. The product line sheet includes the prices of your products that you're going to offer for wholesale, your product description, sizes, photo, and the contact information of your business. I must say that the product line sheet, when you start reaching out to all your potential clients, You should add it in every email, or if you want to visit their local store, you should also bring that with you. Now, the fourth tip for me, for you to organize yourself, is to have a wholesale supplier company contact information. Maybe you're buying your supplies in a very small company that they don't offer like supplies in bulk. And so you have to go and test other companies and test other materials and ingredients from another company. You have to do that right away, and also grab all that contact information for wholesale suppliers. And then you have to have a space for logging your sales, also have your inventory, and with that, with your sales and inventory right on track, you are going to be able to say, okay, to set up your delivery dates. It's very important because with wholesale, maybe they are going to ask you for 1,000 candles, and right now you need a place for you to see what materials do you have in stock, how many are you able to do, and with that specific data that you have in hand, you can say, okay, I can get this done till on this specific date. So I think those are the main things that you need to have organized before you start. And I must say that Inventora can help you with this. Inventora can help you keeping track of your wholesale sales, the product pricing for wholesale, because you're going to have a cost breakdown per piece. So you know how much each item costs, and you have a better sense of how to price the item for wholesale. You can create production runs for a specific wholesale order, and you can add customers and suppliers information. So to have all of that in just one place, I think it's amazing and it's super useful. Before I a new Inventora, I was doing all in spreadsheets. I have a spreadsheet for inventory, a spreadsheet for the contact information, customers information, and all of those things. And to be honest, it was hard for me to keep track of all those things. But in Inventora, everything is connected, so it's easier for you to keep up. Okay, now let's talk about pricing your products for wholesale. As I mentioned before, not all your products are going to be good for wholesale. For example, if a product costs you $20 and it takes you 3 hours to make each item, and you're selling it for $40, you might not want to offer them for wholesale because the profit margin will be too low for the time that you have invested. But if the product costs you $10 and it took you a half an hour to do, and you're selling it for, I don't know, $40, maybe that's a good product to offer. So you have to decide first what items are you going to offer. And then make a list of each item and include the time that makes. Sorry, I'm just going to see the chat. Okay. Sorry. List which items take you the less time to make and the cost of the supplies are low. So for example, I have a candle that the supplies that I use are super cheap, and it takes me like half an hour to do or less. So maybe that one is a really good product to take into consideration for wholesale. Now, after you have that list, so you can say, okay, this one is good for wholesale, and you have that list ready, you also need to start pricing your products already knowing the profit margin that you want to have. For handmade items, probably you already know, but it's at least the average is still 5 to 20%. 20%, it's kind of high, but that's the average of the profit margin that you can use and the cost of each one of the products. Without the right calculations, maybe your first few wholesale customers will make you lose a lot of money. So you need to have your cost and your profit margin very like on top of your head before pricing your products, so you can price your products the right way. So I put here that your wholesale price should be at least twice your break-even price. So we know that the break-even price is the point at which cost is equal to revenue. So your wholesale price should be twice your break-even price. And a formula that you can use to know your break-even price is to add your supplies plus your labor plus your overheads. So you can know how much your supplies for each one of your items cost in Inventora once you add a product and you start adding all the ingredients that you use for that material. You're going to know how much each supply costs for that specific item. And once you know your break-even price, you can double it and then consider increasing it in the future if it's possible. And of course, I think that something important here is to also know the market. See, for example, in fair, how much people are asking for a similar product or something like that. Okay. Oops. Sorry here. Okay. After that, I think I lost a slide here, so I'm going to just talk about it, is how to prepare your wholesale pitch. You already know what contacts and clients you want to reach out to. You already have your product line sheet ready, and you also have which products are you going to offer and the price of them for wholesale. So you're ready to go. You're ready to start reaching out to people. And for me, this is the exciting part because it's the part where you start connecting with them. So when you start, you can start with an email if the company is not near where you live or something. You can start like writing an email. And the key here is to keep the pitch simple and short. You need to explain how you found their business, what you like about their business, how your handmade goods fit in their business, how many years have you owned your handmade business in order for having more credibility and loyalty, and what can you do for their business. So answering all of those things, I know it can take some time because you have to do a research for each one of the contacts that you want to reach out to. And also you need to, for me, what I did was like, maybe I started looking at their language on social media, their values, the type of products they offer. So that way I can connect that with the things that I offer with my business and my brand identity in order for create that connection and that engage with them. And also that makes them feel that you really want to work with them. And in the email, you should also include the product line sheet with all the product details so they can already have all the information together. They have tons of things in their table, so probably your email is going to be there for a while, or maybe you won't get a response on the first one. So you have to keep up and send another follow-up email and see if they're willing to work with you. And also, as I mentioned, if the potential client is near you, you can stop by and leave some samples of your products and pitch your company in a brief way. Or you can also send a pitch package. I have recently talked about this with Caitlin. You can send a pitch package with some samples and a little note about your business and that you would really want to work within a specific company. I know this can take out more of your budget, but if you have the budget for it, I think it's a really good idea to do. And lastly, I know I didn't touch base on that so much because I honestly love to do wholesale by myself, and I know it's challenging, but wholesale marketplaces are also another way to start doing wholesale, because they let retails connect with you directly without having to search for them. So some of the marketplaces that I know that are really good is Fair, Handshake, and Abound. So you can read, maybe you're trying to get into these places, these marketplaces, and I honestly believe that they are a good way to start as well. Okay, so I think I'm done. We also on social media, we have been like putting a box for Q&As, for questions, and I'm going to respond to some of them that came to our inbox, and you can start also adding, I know we have a question here, but you can start adding more questions if you have any, while I start responding to these ones that I have here. So the first one is pros and cons of having someone pay upfront for all your products and then marking it up in their store, or you selling your stuff in their store and giving them a cut on whatever they sell. So for the first scenario, the pros is that you receive the 100% of the payment right away. You don't need to manage anything after selling the product, which is really good. And if the product gets damaged or something, it's not your problem. Your products are theirs. That's maybe a con, that they're going to expose your products as they want to. They're going to put the price, a price like they think it's a good price for them, and sometimes that can hurt your brand image, so you have to be careful. In my experience, I always give them like a suggested retail price in order for not have that conflict between the prices that I offer and what are they offering in their store. And in the second scenario is that selling your stuff in their store and giving them a cut on whatever they sell. A pro is that you can reach a larger audience. It can be a great way to test the waters and get a feel for what sells and what doesn't. And the cons are that you don't get paid unless your items are sold, and your commission can vary from store to store. And when you have unsold items, they get returned to you, and that's inventory that you have in your shelves that you have to get rid of. Now, the benefits of wholesaling directly versus fair. So wholesaling directly, for me, it's that you have your own customer list. They are your customers, so you can market and engage with them like you think is the best way to do it. You have complete control over your products, listing, and pricing, and you get to keep 100% of the profits from each sale. So those are really good things. And the pros of Fair is that there's no need to create and manage your own website. They're going to do that for you. And Fair takes care of all the payment processing and shipping for you, which is really good. So that's why I told you that maybe it's a good way to start to do wholesale with those platforms. And cons of doing Fair or selling on a marketplace is that you need to provide extensive information about your products up front. You won't be able to reach a larger audience or potential buyers. It's just going to depend on them. And they have a commission fee that it's around 15 to 25% on each sale that you make. So maybe that's something that you need to think about. The other one is, what documents should we have for wholesale? Of course, you need to have your business license and you have to have your product line sheet. But as far as legal documents, this is up to you and what makes you feel more comfortable. You can also do a contract for extra security. An example of a contract in place is for buybacks. So the buyback is usually a situation for a larger retail corporation. It can happen when your products don't sell and they will ask you to buy back your inventory so that they don't have that loss. So maybe it's a good way to cover and protect your business as well. But honestly, it's up to you. I haven't done it. I honestly have a good relationship with the wholesalers that I work with. So I haven't seen myself in the necessity to do it, but maybe it's a good way to consider it. The next one is it's steps to looking professional when asking a shop to wholesale. I think a good rule of thumb here is to have your goals very clear, know your prices, and be prepared with all the documents and everything that we discussed today. But most important, I think, to present yourself as you are, show you like the natural of yourself, be yourself, show you, explain to them why are you doing the things that you're doing and why are you making your products. And the last one is what a good script to follow when approaching a boutique. I think we already touched base on that on the prepare a wholesale pitch, but you need to explain how you found their business, how you like what you like about their business, how can you help them, how why your handmade goods can be a good fit for their business. If you have all of those things together, I think that's something that it's going to work. Okay, girls. Thank you so much for joining. It was really good to have this space to talk and to learn together. And thank you so much for joining. The next webinar is going to be the first Wednesday of June, and we are going to have a special guest, and we are going to learn about email marketing. So it's going to be very useful, and I hope to see you there. Have a good evening and rest of your week. Bye.